It's time to close the case in tonight's episode of Layton Brothers Mystery Room. As we start to piece together the final moments of the victim, it turns out there is only one conclusion as to who the killer was. Please join myself and Clarie as we try and solve a murder staged.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Layton Brothers Mystery Room is this part 10 already?
I think it's part 73.
Part 73? I seem to have missed the other.
It feels like we've done quite a few.
I think officially it's only part 10.
Okay.
And we are going to see if we can try and solve a murder stage.
Oh, you remember the name of the case? I don't remember the name of the case. I know it was something to do with a stage and some dead person. But yes, indeed. And the rather unpleasant romance going on between Rapscallion, Roscoe Stallion Man, Stallion?
Oh, I forgot now. Roscoe Stallion.
No, it's not Stallion.
No, it's not. You're right.
Strapping.
That's it. Roscoe Strapping.
And your good little self.
Now, Addy, can you remember at all the voices that we used for this?
No, and I have actually had people complain on my Ace Attorney series that my characters change voice mid-case.
Oh dear.
So I guess we just see how it goes. Well, we shall reopen the case. We open it from where we left off, and people, join us for a spot of murder solving.
Murder.
Right. Clegg's gun planted on me when unconscious. Oh, we resolved these. Murder in the dark. There we go. Well, that is our option.
Are you saying that Blaze weren't shot when it all went dark?
Now, some people... No, one person has said on the comment section that they disapprove of the word blasé. The pronunciation blasé.
That's because it's Blaze.
Well, apparently it's a pun. Apparently her name's like Gloria Blaze, as in blaze of glory, as in like died in a blaze of glory.
That's why it's Blaze. I tried to point this out to you about 4 episodes ago.
Did you?
Yeah, you were having none of it.
Okay, fine. We should now call her Blaze. Fine enough, right. Do you recall where we concluded the shot was fired from?
Aye, from where Strapping had been standing on stage, weren't it?
Yes, and to hit Blaze from that distance with a single shot in the dark would be impossible.
Impossible. But we know that's where she were done in from, don't we? So...
Ah, we do, but there's no disputing where the shot was fired from. But when the shot was fired, that's still a detail about which we still have some room for manoeuvre.
What do you mean, when it were fired?
I mean, if only it hadn't been pitch black, Blaze would have had an easy shot from that location. Do you see? So now, when do you think the shot was fired that killed Blaze? Now we'll need to kind of recap the actual evidence there, because where do we get like the... Because there was 2 shots, weren't there? Wasn't there a shot and then the lights went out and then there was another shot or something like that?
Because there was the shot that was supposed to be in the play.
Exactly. Right, he went back to... Let's have a look at the statements. After my exit, I went straight back to the dressing room. I only realised something wrong when I heard the gunshot. When I came back onto the stage, the lights were up and Destiny was holding the Gloria in her arms. I knew she was dead. After the blackout, I heard Gloria scream. After the scream, I heard a gunshot right next to where she was standing. It was pitch black, so I couldn't see anything. So that would imply... That statement's basically saying that the gun was shot while it was black. And yet, what Mr. Layton seems to be saying is that that would have been impossible just because it would have been such a tricky shot to make.
Which shot was shot while it was black?
Well, there's nothing here about there being more than one shot. However, I think when we heard the initial statement, they talked about more than one shot, but I could have forgotten that. By the way, guys, thank you for all your lovely comments in the comment section. I do reply as many as possible. I have been trying to persuade Miss Clariepose to get her own account so she can reply to your comments herself, but she's stubbornly refusing. So if you would like to have
That's a cheap and dirty trick.
It is a little bit of a cheap and dirty trick, but if you would like Clariepose to reply to your stuff personally, I'll need to persuade her in the comment section that she should get involved.
Now the music's cut out for me. How is it for you?
It's back.
Ah.
It's back. I think it was a dramatic pause while it waited for your response. Right. When was Blaze killed? During the performance, before the performance began. Before the performance began? Well, surely she was acting during the performance, so she couldn't have been dead during the performance. And
I feel like what they want us to say is after the... No, actually, I'm not sure.
Let's check the seconds again. So the options are before the performance, during the performance, after the lights came up. Okay, so we've got Gloria Blaze, blah 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 blah. He says, when the lights came up and Destiny was holding Gloria in her arms, I knew she was dead. She says, there was a gunshot. I heard a scream, there was a gunshot word when I was standing. Blaze's dead body, she was killed with a single bullet through the chest. An app's gone free is now available.
Great.
I wonder if it's something to do... I wonder if it's... Well, we got this wrong last time.
We did get this horribly wrong.
The obvious one is during the performance. But then again, maybe Blaze was just simply playing dead when the lights were off, because she's supposed to. She gets shot in the play. So maybe she was actually shot after the lights came back up. But then again, there was no gunshot sound then. I reckon we go during the performance.
When her body was found, she was backstage, wasn't she?
No, she's on the stage.
Oh, she was on the stage. Oh.
So it can't be before the performance again, otherwise how would she get onto the stage?
Yeah, and
unless
you
someone
think that
dragged her onto the stage. Dead. But that's a bit
covered
harsh.
in blood.
Nice. During the performance?
Yeah, during the performance.
Ha-ha!
Yay! We got one
We got one right.
That never happens. Sorry. Bayek, I was so stunned that we got one right, I forgot to say my line. Bayek, Prof, not during the performance.
Exactly. We know where the shooter was standing, and we know there was the noise of a gunshot. When you consider those two facts together, there's only one logical conclusion.
The gun used in the final scene of the play was a real gun.
Correct.
Correct. Unbear. Hey, I was still saying that word.
Sorry, I was just...
I don't know what the end of it was now, do I?
Leaveable.
Leave-able.
Thank you. Very nice, dramatic. Very dramatic. Well, we can be almost certain that's the truth of the matter, but it's just a theory at this stage. We need to find some evidence that Blaze was actually shot while the performance was underway.
I hear you, Prof. I'm on it.
Questioning session over. Let's investigate. Well, surely the evidence that she was shot while the performance was underway is the fact that everyone, you know, saw her walk onto the stage and then she was dead afterwards.
Yeah. And you think that if she was found dead before the performance started, someone might have said something along the lines of, let's not do tonight's performance, there's a dead person on the stage.
Yeah, don't let her go on stage like that. She's dead. She was killed with a single bullet to the chest. I mean, surely her body is evidence that she was killed during this. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. Oh, hang on. There's a replica gun! A model of a gun that was used in the show. Its construction is such it can only fire blanks. It's swimming in the oil used to lubricate the mechanism. Well, that unfortunately doesn't prove anything. A remote switch. A switch to detonate the squib of fake blood that was concealed in Blaze's outfit. She was supposed to operate it at the appropriate time, but it was found in the bin. It's a bin. I don't think that's the evidence. So let's think about this before we start kind of hunting around. What would be evidence that someone died in performance other than the body? Surely it's the body. Surely the body is evidence she died mid-performance.
But the body isn't evidence of when she died, is it? It's only the evidence of the fact that she did die. How does her body there prove that she died mid-performance?
True. Well, hang on. What about the bullet hole? Isn't the bullet hole evidence that she died mid-performance? Because the fact that, you know, that must mean that the bullet shot through, that a gun was fired on stage.
Sorry, I still don't see why that proves when she died.
Well, surely that must have proved that she was on stage when the bullet
Oh yeah, that's true.
was shot.
Yes, good thinking.
So bullet hole?
Yeah, bullet hole.
Uh-oh.
This is the proof we need, isn't it?
Unfortunately not, Lucy. Blaze was supposed to act out her death as strapping shot a blank from the gun he had trained on her.
But she weren't. She was shot for real, poor lass.
And that difference in the course of events is sure to have left a trail of evidence behind it.
I know, we need hard evidence. Right, on with the job then.
Hang on, we were just discussing the fact that the gun was the real murder weapon, the one found in the hand of the guy. So maybe the evidence that she died during the performance is actually the fake gun.
The fake gun in...
Should we try that?
Yeah.
Okay, replica gun, you're the evidence.
Oh dear. This is the proof we need, isn't it?
Unfortunately not, Lucy.
How about sorry, go ahead.
Blaze was supposed to act out her death as strapping shot a blank from the gun.
Yada 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 yada.
And that difference in the course of events, blah blah blah. We need hard evidence. What's your thoughts?
How about the blood detonator in the bin?
Okay, what? So it didn't. Okay.
I found a remote control, Prof.
Ah, that must have been used to detonate the squib. Damn squib. Do you remember that episode of the IT crowd?
I do remember. It's one of the few moments in the IT crowd where I've actually laughed.
Oh, boo to you. It's hilarious.
Just saying.
You're like sheepox.
Sorry?
That's fire. That's sheepox.
Yeah, that actually did make me laugh out loud.
That must have been used to detonate the squib and burst Blaze's bladder of fake blood.
Blaze would have been the one to push the button, wouldn't she? So how come it were chucked away here in the bin?
Yes, what does that tell us? What do you think, Lucy?
Start questioning.
What does the remote control being in the rubbish bin signify? That it wasn't used.
That it wasn't used.
I don't think we can say who threw it away, and I don't think we can deduce that it was broken. We can just simply say it wasn't used in the scene.
We are getting better at this.
We are getting... Well, that's kind of 2 in a row, and
Yeah.
we found evidence without checking every single
Yeah,
bit
we
of
did.
the room twice.
If the remote's here in the bin, then chances are Blaze never pushed the button at all.
Well, there you have it. Despite failing to trigger the squib blood pours from Blaze's wound during the performance.
Because she were actually shot with a real gun.
Are these guys just deducing that she was shot with a real gun, despite the fact they've got a corpse covered with blood in front of them?
What?
But didn't the thing say that the fake blood mixed with the real blood?
I think what he's just said there is that because she was shot with a real gun, that itself kind of burst the bag of fake blood.
Ew, nice. And we have the entire audience as witnesses.
That's hard evidence then, isn't it, Prof?
Yes, well done. We've proved that definitely someone was killed here this evening.
High five! Definitely a murder happened.
You need to giggle.
Am I heeing over the fact that there's a murder?
Yes.
Right.
Let's hand the remote over to forensics and have them confirm the button was never pressed.
I'll go and ask them right this minute.
Right, you go and make a phone call. I'll just sit here and play with my hair. Hello, welcome back.
Hello. I've been and asked them.
Good. Did you bring me some tea?
No.
Oh, speaking of which,
yes,
one of our little fans has drawn us a bit of artwork. This is a wonderful bit of Mr. Layton failing once again to get his tea, and that was sent to me by Kathy and Hannah on Twitter. Thank you very much, guys, for their wonderful bit of artwork. And please, if anyone's got any more, do send them in. We'll try and show them on the video as and when we can. Go for it.
I've been thinking while I was gone, why would you want to kill someone in front of all them witnesses, eh?
That, Lucy, is the biggest mystery of this case. If his aim had even been slightly off, he'd have given himself away in an instant.
It's hard to say what was driving him, I must say.
Well, there's no point worrying about it when we don't yet know. Let's continue our investigation based on what we do know. Blaze was shot with a real gun in the final scene of the performance. Now we've established that, the events that followed in the darkness start to fall into place.
Oh aye, there's plenty of questions need answering now.
Firstly, Blaze's scream. And secondly, the gunshot that rang out through the darkness. Let's get to the bottom of those two curiosities.
Questioning session over.
Good questioning session. Okay, so we've resolved that. We've got two new mysteries, a scream in the dark and a shot in the dark. Now the scream's difficult, because if she was shot before the lights went dark, why did she scream so much later? Unless she was just a bit like, oh, that hurt, hang on, I've been shot. Ah! But I don't think that's going to be the answer.
So, if Blaze were as dead as a doornail already before it went dark, she'd have had a hard job screaming, eh?
You're getting quite callous in your jaded old age.
I am, aren't I?
I remember when you first came in, you were like, oh my god, a murdered body, this is disgusting.
Now I'm like, hee hee hee,
Yeah,
someone died.
Oh, well, dead bodies can't scream. Psych. Well, the most obvious explanation is it was someone else who screamed. So, Lucy, who do you think actually let out the scream in the darkness?
Let's start questioning.
Well, it was... I mean, Destiny Knox would be the obvious one. Oh, hang on, this was Bray when he got hit in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah. He was our other victim.
He was the other person that got punched. But then again, if it was a female scream, that would imply it was Destiny Knox. Now, where is the statements on the scream? I heard a gunshot. After the blackout, I heard Gloria scream. But it's her saying she heard it, so unless she's lying... I panicked a bit because it wasn't in the scream. I heard a woman scream, but then I was attacked by someone that knocked me out, so that would imply it wasn't him. I reckon we go Destiny then.
Yeah.
And that would imply that she's lying. Well, one of these two is lying. Whoever's out of these two is lying, it's the other one. Unless Roscoe screamed.
Roscoe's not a girl either, though.
No. Okay, Destiny. Woo! We are doing well.
Well, if it weren't Blaze who screamed, the only other possibility is that Knox lass.
Quite. Neither Strapping nor Clegg could have convincingly imitated a woman's scream. How was that?
You can convincingly imitate a woman's scream.
So maybe we could. But that's not quite the whole story. We've already have evidence to suggest that Strapping told Knox to scream.
We do?
Apparently we do. Yes, it's all there in the suspect's statements. Which statement tells us when Strapping most probably told Knox to scream? Which statement suggests Strapping passed a secret message to Knox? Could be the blackout, it could be the gunshot. After the scream, I heard a gunshot next to right where I was standing. Well, that would probably be the secret signal, wouldn't it? Well, it's not that secret. My guess, I think that one might be it.
Yeah.
When he made his exit from the stage, Mr. Strapping bumped into Destiny.
I panicked a bit because it wasn't in the script.
Secret message?
Yep, secret message.
Oh, exactly!
Exactly!
What's that? It's like 7 in a row.
We are on fire. Hey up, Mr. Strapping bumped into Destiny. That sounds dead fishy, that
would
does.
never happen in the dark.
It would never happen in the dark.
Agreed. Knocking her over would have given him ample time to tell her what he wanted to smash her. Okay, now go and kill her face.
So what? So Knox was an accomplice then?
Not exactly. If she really were his accomplice, they would have plotted the whole thing together from the start.
Aye, why didn't they? That's a bit odd, isn't it?
It seems there's yet more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not sure we resolved the scream in the dark. We've got to be a little bit closer. Well, a shot in the dark then.
Let's get this straight. If Blaze were killed during the performance, what were the shots that everyone heard when the lights went out?
My guess is it was fired by Strapping as part of the whole deception. That could have been the other gun. There's sure to be evidence on the scene somewhere that proves he fired a second shot.
I'd best get looking then.
I mean, the evidence could just be the other gun. But is that evidence it was fired?
Well, should we try it first?
Does it say it was fired? It can only fire blanks swimming in the oil. Swimming in the oil.
Well, if someone's bothered to oil it up, that suggests they're about to use it.
Let's do it then.
This is what he used. Strapping must have used this replica gun. No, I bet that's it.
Well, let's see. The prop gun was found behind the set. He would have had to have worked his way round to knock Clegg out from here then, if you're right. Is there any evidence you could find that would support that idea, Lucy?
Prove strapping moved in.
Oh, hang on. I think we saw that the other day. There was some weird. There's some weird crap on the wall. Here you go. The oil stains.
Oil stains from the lubed gun.
From the lubed gun. This is the evidence.
These oil stains are a bit telling, aren't they?
So telling. Ah, yes, that must be the car oil. That must be the oil used to lubricate the replica gun.
Oil to lubricate. He must have been running his hand along the back of the set here to feel his way in dark.
Into dark. Without a doubt. That's how Strapping worked his way over to where Clegg was. He groped around in the dark until he located him, and then he hit him, and then he knocked him out.
Nasty stuff.
You love it, don't you?
I love it.
I love it too.
I love it.
This shows us the person who had the replica gun passed this way. In other words, it's proof that Strapping crossed the back of the stage in the dark.
We're getting closer, Prof.
We're getting so close.
I can almost smell it.
We've got a full thing of things as well. We've homed in on the truth, it seems.
And proved that Strapping's the killer.
Oh, that's the phone. Get that for me, will you please? Get that for me.
I'll get it.
Hooray! She's doing meaningful tasks.
Only because it tells me I have to.
No.
Otherwise, you'd be getting your own phone.
Get the phone. It's ringing. Get the phone.
You're going to need to press next.
I think you should press next.
Right, so you think that in all of the other ones, when it's fun, you get to press next,
yes.
And yet when the phone's ringing, I get to press next.
You're getting it.
No, I'm not.
Well, you're just going to have to sit here with the phone ringing then.
Well, the next 10 minutes of this video are going to be very boring.
Well...
Luckily for me, it's you that edits these out, not me.
Well, while we're sitting here waiting for you to get the phone...
Yes.
I'm just stop talking about Layton. We've got a blog.
Yeah, we've got a blog.
We started a blog at the weekend. There's only a couple of posts on there at the moment, in fact, talking about the new Doctor Who. So if you're watching this in a couple of weeks' time, it's probably all old news by now. But we're gonna...
Even if you're watching this in an hour and 6 minutes, it's probably
old news. But I've spent a bit of time setting it up. It's almost up. Well, it's ready to go, but I will continue developing it over the next few days. And we're going to be blogging about everything. You're going to blog about science and stuff.
Yes. What are you going to blog about, Addy?
I thought I'd blog about, games and life and the news and stuff, but probably stuff that we talk about. Some of you have said that you kind of enjoy our little random kind of chats during the videos, and that's probably the kind of stuff.
Who said that?
Some of the people in the comment section.
Ah, that's nice.
They kind of said they liked our banter and some of your interesting facts.
I have very interesting facts. I have a whole lot more interesting facts up my sleeve if you like those ones.
Well, you better blog about them then. Now, are you going to get this bloody phone?
Nope, it's still a no. Hey, that's so cheating.
I'm now going to poke Clara with the iPad so the phone is answered. There we go! She answered the phone with her arm.
It were forensics.
It was forensics, dear. Learn to speak.
Well, actually, no, I think it were forensics.
You're arguing that it were forensics is the correct grammar.
I'm going to need some time to think about this.
It was forensics on the phone.
Forensics were on the phone because forensics is a plural.
Oh.
Addy was on the phone. A football team were on the phone. Forensics is made up of more than one, therefore I'm giving it the plural.
No. Just no. No evidence to support my feelings. No, it's wrong.
No. They said the remote switch weren't pressed just as we thought.
Update. A switch to detonate the squib of fake blood that was concealed in Blaze's outfit. Investigations have confirmed the switch was not pressed on the day in question. That clinches it. I'm going to point in your little cute face there.
Shall I call Strapping in? Any excuse.
Why we could just speak to him on the phone. I don't think we need to.
No, we should definitely call that man in.
I don't think. We could just get someone else to question him. Really, I don't think we necessarily need to just kind of see him in person. But there's still something that's troubling me a little, other than your you know, libido. But I'm sure we've got enough. Let's call him in.
I don't think I'm comfortable talking about my libido with you.
I'm doing a line.
I can't tell you how much I've been waiting for this. See?
God, you're hot for him. Oh.
And who would not be hot for me?
Ah! You have returned! Well, we're going to ask Strapping to come in then, and we're going to take him down. Conclusion, it's time to make him crack then.
I wasn't expecting you'd want to see me quite so soon, precious.
I couldn't wait for our second date.
Don't get the wrong idea, Mr. Strapping. Come now, don't be bashful. I like a woman who takes the bit between her teeth.
A gutsy girl, don't try to hide it. You're just my type.
I'm telling you, this is strictly business.
Mr. Strapping, if I may interject at this conjecture from your general flirtatious remarks, we have managed to identify the criminal responsible for murdering your fiancée. We have ID'd the crook.
I knew it! Didn't I tell you it was someone from the audience, eh? Tell me the wretch's name!
There's a killer in the crowd. Well, the killer must be...
Strapping.
This is going to be a swerve, is it?
Probably.
Roscoe Strapping, it's you! Have that in your face and smoke it! Have that in your face and smoke it?
Look, we took a bit off him just
we
for
did.
that. The killer, Mr. Strapping!
Da, da, da.
Was it you?
You!
Oh, precious, if you want to get my attention, there are much more effective ways, you know.
Oh, he is smooth. He
is.
can even turn a murder accusation into a come-on. No, Mr. Strapping, you misunderstood. We're not actually trying to get into your pants. We're actually trying to get you into jail.
Oh.
You killed Miss Blaze. We're deadly serious.
What a disappointment. You really are an artless pair. I have already laid it out for you on a platter. The killer was hiding in the audience.
Killer in the crowd.
He or she made their way onto the stage in the darkness and pulled the trigger.
In the dark.
With one fateful bullet, my darling's heart was pierced and our love rent asunder.
Yeah, it's like a phrase. I love rent asunder.
I've never heard
like
of that.
Went.
Oh, whoa.
Triggered.
Oh, whoa.
A tragedy.
Sorry, but that doesn't stack up.
Oh!
It'd be almost impossible to have killed her with a single shot, and here's why.
Well, it's clearly not the third one. Pitch black on stage, I guess.
I guess so.
Because the other one doesn't have any connection to it. Oh, wham! Yes, he's lost a bit of his face.
Yeah. When the gunshot were heard, the stage were in total darkness.
Pitch black stage.
How could anyone have taken aim when they couldn't even see what to aim at?
It's impossible to aim.
Impossible. Ah, yes, I remember you suggesting that idea before. In which case, surely the accusation of my own guilt meets with a sticky end, no?
Impossible for me. On the contrary, you smooth-talking little air steward. It is precisely the fact that Miss Blaze was killed in a single bullet that incriminates you, Mr. Strapping.
You and you alone.
The killer.
I am quite sure I don't follow. An explanation, sir, if you please.
Why is Strapping the only possible culprit? He shot the gun in the show. He was in his dressing room. He was wearing gloves.
He shot the gun in the show.
Well, yeah, if he shot the gun on stage and the shot before the lights went, if everyone saw him shoot the gun, then that must be it. Yeah, I think it's good with that. You shot the gun in the show. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yes, he's going down fast.
Miss Blaze weren't killed during the blackout at all, were she?
It's a question of timing.
No, her life ended a few moments earlier. On stage during the finale of the show in front of a house full of people. No,
in front of
a
everyone.
full house.
Tragedy's leading lady. Tragedy!
What a fantastical idea!
This is a crazy plot.
Your imagination is wasted on this job, Precious. You should hand in your notice and become a dramatist.
You should start writing scripts. Maybe make some tea. Nope. Not that then.
There's no imagined about it.
Oh, it's the truth.
Then pray tell, how do you explain the blood-curdling scream that pierced the darkness? Every member of the audience in the full house of which you speak heard a woman scream.
They were screaming in the dark. There were scores of witnesses. Well, we've already established that it was Destiny Knox's scream.
Because
Have that.
you told her to.
Have that in your face. Blam! Oh.
I'd be willing to bet that it was Miss Knox that screamed. What rot? You're clutching at straws now. Everyone actually there said it was Gloria who screamed. That's just because when the lights came back up, they saw Miss Blaze lying dead on
Superstar
stage.
slain.
Faced with a scene like that, who wouldn't assume that the lass who screamed was... What? That were the lass that just
A
screamed.
screaming error.
Ah!
And just before the lights went out, you bumped into Miss Knox. It's in Miss Clegg's statement. Wow, that was really mean of my character, letting you do all the big build-up, and then suddenly beginning going, and therefore you're the killer. Ta-da!
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That's when you told her you were going to need her to scream once you'd cut the lights.
You are quite deluded. This is all utter fabrication.
Wholly untrue.
We're not deluded at all. You know it's the truth. Stop trying to deny it.
That's it. That's the killing blow right there.
That is the killing blow right there. I have absolutely no recollection of anything that you're saying.
He's on the ropes. What me? Never.
Your so-called evidence is all circumstantial. Do you actually have any conclusive proof at all?
This is an unprovable postulation.
What, me? Never.
Indeed. Speaking of crazy words, the Word of the Day challenge will come back on Thursday's episode.
Can't wait. I love a word of the day challenge.
We like a bit of Word of the Day, but we thought we'd have a bit of a day off today to kind of get through the plot. So do stick some more words in the description, and we shall pick out our favourites and stick them in next week's episode.
I haven't seen a shred of hard evidence. Oh, we've got proof all right.
The prof's got proof.
How about this for starters?
Well, it was the bullet hole, wasn't it? It was the... It was the combination of where the bullet hole was and where he was standing.
I think if I was a real murder detective, then the evidence that I would use here... Actually, no. I was going to say would be the oil on the, you know, the oil fingerprints.
But I guess that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
We have got the oil stains, but that doesn't necessarily incriminate
No,
him.
because he could just say that he was using the fake gun and...
I think it either needs to be stage position B, because it's where he got shot, or it's the bullet hole. I think it's going to be the bullet hole.
Okay, go for it.
But it could be either. Oh, here we go. Oh, it bounced off! It bounced off! It wasn't the bullet hole.
I hardly think that qualifies as Precious.
That's not really concluded, Lucy. You can't have forgotten already.
Oops, sorry, Prof.
Well, maybe it's one of these ones in gold, then. Remote switch, so
Yeah.
it was definitely not. She definitely didn't turn it on, so she was definitely shot on stage. There was that. Oh, and he's down to his bleeming heart.
Isn't that the squib remote?
I don't know, the screen is kind of broken and we can't really see what's going on.
What's going on?
Dramatic pause of a murder
I
trial.
think this is to, like, emphasise the tension.
I think so. I'm feeling very tense right now, wondering what on earth's gone on with the connection. Oh, there we go. Oi! Come on, little connection, you can do it. This is one of the disadvantages of using the method we used to record this. It goes through the wireless network, and when the network goes a bit squiffy, so does the thing. Anyway.
Which should have... That's you.
Oh, it should have been carried by Miss Blaze for her to push the button in time with you firing the blank. The knob was never nudged.
But Mr. Strapping, the button were never pressed.
The squib was never squirted.
Ha ha. So it's a bit hard to explain where all that blood came from in the final scene, eh?
Tragic turn of events.
No, that can't.
There's only one... Oh, that's you.
There's only one explanation for it that makes sense.
Only one.
I think you know what that is, don't you, Mr. Strapping? She were bleeding because you shot her with a real gun.
With a real gun in the face, the heart is cracked.
Clearly Gloria just forgot to take the remote control with her that time. There's no way out of this, Mr. Strapping. You can't explain it away.
It's the final curtain.
You shot her, no question. Look, I've picked up your point.
You have. You've nicked my point. You're the killer.
Nonsense.
Mystery solved. Oh.
Encore. He's got half a heart back.
He has. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid you will have to wait for Thursday's video to check out
the encore,
whatever the encore is, because we are right out of time here. Thank you very much for watching. We look forward to hearing your comments. Do try and persuade Clarie to set up her own account so she can chat to you. I'm getting a look of death now from Clarie. Do check out our blog over the next few days, and do give us some suggestions for words of the day. Have you anything to add?
Thank you and goodbye.
Fair enough. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.